And as the final medals are awarded and the closing ceremony draws to a close, we wrap up an exhilarating chapter of the Olympic Games. Let's take a look back now at the standout achievements made, especially by Team South Africa. Let's now welcome Janet Whitton, SABC sport researcher. So Janet, a very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for your time. So as the curtain closes on the Paris showpiece tonight, great moments, great achievements, and all-round great sporting entertainment. Let's talk about some of the nail-biting highlights as well as lowlights, as well as great achievements by the athletes, starting, of course, with Team South Africa.
It was a very good performance from Team South Africa, absolutely. I think 6 medals from this team was a little bit unexpected, to be perfectly honest. The swimmers won a few medals. We were expecting that, and I think perhaps we were hoping possibly for one more, perhaps from Peter Coetzee, and possibly we were hoping for 2 golds from Tatiana rather than a gold and a silver, but it was a good performance. I think the mountain biking bronze medal from Alan Hatherley was a remarkable achievement, really, really good from him. And I don't underestimate the value of the bronze medal from the Blitzbokke, the rugby sevens team, because they had a horrendous season, absolutely awful. And to come back from that and sneaking in through the back door to even qualify for the Olympics, to win a bronze medal was really, really good. The athletics, as we all know, started slowly for us. It was rather disappointing, and I think everybody felt really sad for Akani Simbine with another 4th place, but a fabulous performance in the 4x100. And then last night for Johanna van Dijk to get a javelin silver medal was a really, really fantastic performance. She has participated in the Olympics before. She's participated in a couple of world championships and hasn't really made her mark. So I think that was something to be really proud of. 6 medals was really good from Team South Africa.
Absolutely, Janet. I mean, look, obviously a great improvement from the Tokyo Games by a significant margin, but there were areas for more improvement. And at the top of some of the reasons why we might not have performed at top form, issues related to funding, Janet, inclusivity of all areas in order to find the relevant talent, and heavily investing in this very talent that is reflective of the country's current landscape.
I think that's going to be a continuous problem and a continuous complaint for Team South Africa. When you look at the kind of funding that the European countries and the first world countries put into their athletics, it's something that we can never ever compete with. And I remember at the London Olympics, which I was at, speaking to one of the journalists from the BBC, and the total funding put into Team South Africa, into OPEX, as it was known, the Operation Excellence Program that SASCOC runs ahead of the Olympics. The total money that South Africa spent was less than what the British spent on their cycling team. Just one sport, and they participate in just about all of them. So as far as money is concerned and investment is concerned, it's very difficult for us to compete on that level. But the bottom line is it's also hard to justify spending too much more. We're a country that has so many needs, and the money that we spend on sport, in a sense, many people will see as taking away from housing or fixing electricity or, other development needs that we have. So that's very difficult for the sports federations to justify getting more funding. It would be up to corporate South Africa to actually step up and put some money into the various teams. And I think these games have showed that, because we've had some medals from things like mountain biking. If the canoeists had more money behind them, I think that they would actually be competitive as well. There are other sports that are very close but aren't quite making it because they simply don't have funding. The hockey teams are all amateurs. None of them are professional players anymore because they simply can't afford to be. And I think that's where we always going to be struggling.
Absolutely, Janet. I mean, we did come out trumps in the African continent, so some bragging rights there to come home with. And in closing, very quickly, what should we expect from the closing ceremony, Janet? I mean, the opening was quite dramatic in itself. And do you think Paris did a sterling job overall as the host this time?
You know, there were some glitches. I think the opening ceremony is always going to divide opinions. I think it was terribly French, and it was very different. And some people liked it, and some people didn't. Some people understood it, and some people didn't. I think the biggest security-wise, which was their big problem, which is something that they were really worried about. The French, touch wood, did fairly well. There were no big security concerns. The lack of a plan B for swimming in the River Seine for the triathletes and the open water swimmers, I think is going to go down as a problem. They really needed to have another plan in place in case that didn't go right. They managed to do it in the end, but with some difficulty. But generally, the organization of the Olympics, I think, was pretty good. The closing ceremony takes place later tonight, and as always, it's expected to be something of a concert. Snoop Dogg has been all over these Olympics, and apparently he is performing tonight. And there are going to be the Red Hot Chili Peppers, a couple of other big artists. Billie Eilish is apparently going to be there. It's a program that's been labeled records. We'll have to see what that actually means. But I think it should be a big, fun concert, as the closing ceremonies always are.
I wish we could all go there. Thank you so much for that insight. And definitely, Janet, Snoop was having a great time during the course of these Olympics. That is Janet Whitton, the SABC sports researcher, on tonight's Paris Olympic Games coming to an official end.